The use of appropriate video content in this video is solely for educational purposes. We are not endorsing, promoting, or directing any illegal activity.
So guys, we will cover the basic terminologies and concepts. So here we are going to cover 802.11 IEEE. We are going to cover Wi-Fi network communication, what is beacons, BSSID, what is channel, what is Airodump-ng, etc. And we are also going to cover the basic of encryption, what is encryption, what is WPA2 encryption, and what is symmetric encryption. Also, we will understand step-by-step process of WPA2 four-way handshake, what is open authentication, what is preset key. We will understand Wi-Fi protected setup, how to configure router for WPS, what is de-authentication and de-association attack. So friends, now come to the topic of what is beacon, what is ESSID, what is channel, what is Airodump-ng. So whenever we switch on the Wi-Fi router, during that time it will broadcast a packet known as beacon. You can see many times we can, when we open our Wi-Fi settings in our mobile or in a laptop, you are able to view a lot of Wi-Fi network. So here you can see these are many Wi-Fi network. You can see it, Airtel John 5, Generic 2, Ruxana. So these all are Wi-Fi that is present in my surroundings. Wi-Fi network present like Airtel John 5, Generic 2, Ruxana, Airtel 85, like that, Dubey. So all these Wi-Fi network are broadcasted by different Wi-Fi router. So this Wi-Fi router broadcasts their network with a packet known as beacons. So here you can see in this demonstration. So whenever we switch on the Wi-Fi router, it will broadcast the signals. So in every 100 millisecond, it will broadcast the signal. What is ESSID? So here you can see this is my inbuilt laptop, and it can able to get the beacon signals of John 5 router and John 2 router and generic router. So these router signals are come in the name of ESSID. So John 5 is nothing, it is a ESSID of John 5 network. John 2 is nothing, it is a ESSID of John 2 network. So let's go to inside Kali Linux and try to understand how. Here you can see this is in monitor mode, and for that we need to change the configuration. By default, a Wi-Fi adapter will be in managed mode. So we capture the packet of different network. So Wi-Fi, we have put ifconfig. We can see our WLAN 0. We will put sudo I Airodump-ng WLAN 0. Yeah, so these are the packets. You can see this is the ESSID. Yeah, and you can see the John 2 network. So come to the part of BSSID. BSSID is actually Wi-Fi network. So MAC address, Wi-Fi network MAC address. So we have to distinguish the MAC address. Yeah, suppose two Wi-Fi network has, you can learn it from Evil Twin attack latter section. We can create ESSIDs of two devices in the same name. So how to distinguish which ESSID belongs to which network? So it can be distinguished by the BSSID. That is, we can tell it as a MAC address of a specific network, for which it cannot be changed. Yeah, so that's the reason why BSSID is needed. So in the latter section, I am going to explain you what is row access point. Here you can see the power. The power means minus 82 decibel for Airtel 98451 signal network. So here you have to understand the less the power, like minus 21 has higher signal strength and minus 82 is the lowest signal strength. So here you can see you can see the channel is 11 for John 2. In the downmost in Wi-Fi channels are frequency in which data are transmitted, right? Let's try to understand what is channel. Okay, so channel, here it seems, we know that different Wi-Fi adapter, whenever we purchase, or even in our inbuilt laptop and mobile devices, there are Wi-Fi adapters. So these adapters have some specific band, frequency band, like 2.5 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz, in which they listen the broadcasted packets by Wi-Fi router, right? But we cannot use a single band for n number of devices. In that, there will be more interference, right? So that's the reason each band is distributed in multiple channels. So just like 2.5 gigahertz, we have distributed it to 11 channels. So that means it will uh, break down the bandwidth. It will break down the band to multiple channel. Like here you can see channel 2.4 gigahertz is distributed to 11 channels. Channel 1 consists of 2.412 gigahertz. So this is the channel in which the router will send its signal. So that's the reason more channel has created for a specific band, so that less interference can be happen within the transmission of data, right? So here you can see WPA2. This is the WPA2 here stands for the encryption. Which type of encryption we are? Besides adjacent to this, that there is a cipher. So cipher and then authentication. PSK means preset key, whether you are giving password or whether you are doing open authentication. Guys, come to understand the encryption. So here you can see, let's come to the basic concept of encryption. So here you can see the plain text, right? AD. Suppose there is a plain text AD is, we are using some algorithm, right? And AD is converted to DZ, right? Using that algorithm. So some mathematical formula, like we'll come to the latter section and we can understand what is that mathematical formula. The mathematical formula which I am saying was Caesar algorithm. So in Caesar algorithm, you can see the first A will be converted to 3 position ahead. So it will come to D, right? So the first letter will be D. You can see in the ciphertext. So similarly, if we convert C, it will come to G. So DG is the new ciphertext come under the mathematical formula, using the mathematical formula. Now we have to decrypt, then we will put encryption key and use this encryption key to encrypt the data. And now this encryption key is used to again encrypt or hash the data, right? So after that, we need the same decryption key, which will decrypt the data to plain text, right? This is the basic concept of uh, encryption and decryption, right? So here, come to the next part. Here you can see that uh, that Sally wants to send a data. So she will use a encryption algorithm like Caesar algorithm and add some key, and that plain text will be converted to, yeah, this is the encryption algorithm and key, and will come converted to encrypted text. And using LAN, this encrypted text can be sent. So the main reason is that to retain the confidentiality, nobody can uh, able to read the data. So once it is reached to designated user, then decryption algorithm is run with using the same, and with the use of same key, it will be decrypt, right? So you can see clearly how it works. So the main advantage here of this is nobody can read the data while in data in the transmit. Okay, here the medium is network. Through this network medium it is going. There are two type of encryption. One is symmetric encryption, other one is asymmetric encryption. In symmetric encryption, the key in which the data is encrypted and decrypted is the same, right? So here you can see there are two key used for encryption and decryption. Symmetric encryption says that the same key will be used for encrypting the data and decrypting the data in the both side, right? Now come to the part where this asymmetric encryption is used. Now we have to share this key, right, which is same in the both side, right? So how we will share? So we will share using asymmetric key, right? In asymmetric key, the encryption key and decryption key are different, right? So there will be a public key which would be shared among both the part, and there will be a private key for decryption. So here we have to understand there is a key which Sally needs to share with Bob, because as we see that in symmetric encryption both key are same, right? So but how trustworthy is that we will share it through directly like LAN, and how we will share, right? So we go to the approach of asymmetric encryption. So in in asymmetric encryption, I'm not going very deep and explaining how asymmetric encryption perform. Here you have to understand asymmetric encryption uses public key for encryption of data, and for decryption it is uses private key, right? I will make different video for asymmetric encryption. So let's come to what are the things we gained from this encryption. One is confidentiality, other one is integrity, and a third thing is authentication. So what does confidentiality means? That whatever data we are sending using encryption, it cannot be read by any third party, right? Sally is sending encrypted data to Bob using symmetric key. Bob is able to decrypt the data. Only Bob can read Sally's data, right? That is confidential. Integrity, whether the data which sent by Sally to Bob is tampered or not, right? So that part will be taken care by the integrity. So here authentication means to authenticate a valid user, right?
The use of appropriate video content in this video is solely for educational purposes. We are not endorsing, promoting, or directing any illegal activity. Our intention is to provide educational content to enhance knowledge and promote learning.